fans were devastated when Vikings favorite Asbjorn, played by Elijah Rowen, was murdered on the hugely popular historical fantasy. Joining the series with his good friend Jack McEvoy, who played Asbjorn's brother Helgi, both actors bowed out of the show in the same week. But despite the unexpected death sequence, which saw Floki, Gustaf Skarsgård, suffer a terrible hit too, Irish actor Elijah is convinced there will be a big shake-up before the season's end. Speaking exclusively to Express.co.uk, the star said he thinks the Icelandic plot in the series should combine with others, essentially bringing all the characters into one big final fight. "I'd like the Iceland storyline to merge with another storyline," he mused. Which people would assume it must eventually, because otherwise you can't really just be two completely different shows. That's the way series always work, right? You've got all these different storylines and then they eventually merge. So how is it going to do it? I don't know, the star continued. Pretty cool if Ivar, the boneless, then goes to Iceland. Will they leave? Will everybody leave Iceland entirely? Icelandic characters that remain, including Floki, go back to Kattegat? I don't know. It would be interesting to merge. And then, done. Reflecting on his exit from the series, Elijah was feeling surprisingly positive on the experience as a whole now some time has passed. He shared, "You know, I'm feeling pretty good because, well look, for me, Vikings gave me a lot of opportunity. I wasn't a name, I'd never been on a big set before, I actually got the role without an agent, so I was very grateful to the show for giving me the shot. So I needed it to open up the door for me. And that's what it did. I didn't think it would be a leading role, I didn't think it was going to come to that. I thought I was going to save the world, be one of those characters. And so I was happy to learn to play that role and to be gone when I was gone, because it opened doors. From that I got signed to a good agent, and from that I got a leading role and then another big role, so for me it was a first step to something. And the other thing is, when you're talking about the series, I never wanted to be the guy who sticks around a production for 5 years or whatever, because part of the fun of acting is playing different characters and traveling to different locations and being on different sets, all that. So I got to be a Viking and I had a good run and I wasn't too upset, the star enthused. I remember when they told me though, they came into the cast tent to reveal who the people are who are going to. Elijah said honestly, I was like, mixed reactions, you know. I think I was probably the only person, you know, who was kind of laughing. I was like, great, I get to be covered in blood, and I get to have a funky FG death scene. I was quite cool with it. One thing the actor wasn't too impressed with was the tiny weapon he was given in the series, and admitted he'd been looking forward to a major battle scene where he could murder another character. Alas, Asbjorn was one of the kinder and more progressive characters for the time period, and so it never came to pass. They gave me a tiny axe, he exclaimed in mock outrage. And I didn't get to anyone with the tiny axe. So I was sort of waiting around. I was like, in between shots and stuff I would be sort of playing around with this tiny axe, you know, thinking in my head I can't wait for a scene where I get to somebody. And then Asbjorn is getting Ed and never getting to use the axe. So that's something I would have liked to do, the star lamented with a chuckle. Vikings airs on the History Channel and Amazon Prime Video.